Huseman, running back Aaron Dykes, and linebacker Tristan Wheeler. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Russ, I'll start with you. Last season certainly finished in a strong way on a 4-game winning streak. How much momentum does that and motivation does that provide going into this season for you guys?
Well, I mean, obviously that was last season, and awful proud of our guys at 2-5. Not a single guy gave up and quit on us, and went on a little streak there. 4 games at the end of the season, made us feel a little bit better about the season. Not great. 6-5 wasn't good enough, but for our guys to win their last 4 and do what they did at the end of the season, I was awfully proud of them, and I thought they did a tremendous job of hanging with us, the coaches, the players together, and so finishing up was really good. But it's a new year, new spring, new summer, new everything.
How about Aaron and Tristan, for you guys? Same way, you obviously finished the season strong. Has that provided more motivation this summer to take the next step and get the Spiders back into being a playoff team?
Yeah, I mean, it gave us a lot of motivation. Ending the season like that showed that we did have the talent and the ability to make the plays we needed to win games. And going into this summer, we knew that something had to change. And as captains, we decided to make a motto as finished, because some of the games last year we didn't finish, and we didn't finish drives at Elon, didn't finish a game at Villanova, and we win one of those 2 games, we probably make the playoffs as a bid. I mean, so this summer we worked on in everything in the weight room. When you have one more rep, finish it. When you have one more whatever, finish it. It's just getting everything done. It all translates to the field and to Saturdays.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, it didn't go the way we wanted to, and football's an unpredictable game. A lot of things happen. Some guys went down, like Joe Mancuso, but either way, the team's got to rally and pick up for the other guys. And I think going into the offseason, it really changed how we looked at it. A lot of guys found out ways to get back on campus in the first summer session, even when they couldn't. I mean, they slept on couches and did everything they could to just be there, because they knew in order for us to take that next step, they had to be on campus, and we had to compete with guys, push each other in the weight room and on the field. And I think this was one of our most productive all seasons, and it's going to show going into the season.
We'll open up for some media questions. Start with John O'Connor. Go ahead, John.
Thanks, Rob. Coach Huseman, you bring in some transfers on offense in particular with a quarterback and a couple of receivers, and the offensive coordinator, Coach Kosh, as well. Can you talk about how that can be cohesive right off the bat this season?
Well, we had Reese all spring, which was huge for him and us and our players to get acclimated to him. Jake, we had most of the summer. He got here in May, I think, Jake Harris, and I think he fit in really well with our team. Both those guys are very humble people. They know they have to earn the right to play, but they've been great additions. And then the other transfer from Maryland was Nick DeGennaro, and an offensive lineman from Rice, and they've both been here this summer too. So I think it's they've gelled pretty well with our team. Obviously, our guys will welcome anybody that can help them win football games, and I think our guys see those 4 as people that can help us win games.
Thank you, Coach. I wonder if you might address how Richmond takes the next step. The Spiders have been sort of a middle of the pack team, maybe a touch higher over the last few years. How do you elevate?
Well, Aaron talked about it, and I met with the captains, and I think both Tristan and Aaron are captains this year. And, they talked about finishing. They talked about taking it one game at a time. We had a chance against Villanova. We had a couple opportunities against Elon, couldn't get it in. We throw an interception in the end zone against Stony Brook to make that a 1-score game. So, we got to finish. We got to play better at the end of games, in certain games. I think as the year went on towards the end, we played better. We finished games. Those last 4 games, we actually looked like a really good football team, and a team that could have played with anybody if we would have gotten the playoffs if we had one more win there. But a lot of guys, I mean, Rhode Island gets one more. They can play with anybody. Elon gets one more. There are so many teams that you just get one more game and you're in the playoffs. And, you know, we were one of those teams. And, you know, I like our team, and we got to finish some of those games at the end then.
Thanks, Coach.
Next question from Daryl Owens. Go ahead, Daryl. Looks like we might have lost Daryl. Aaron, Coach talked about, and John talked about Coach Kosh coming in and some of the transfers. You have been an extremely versatile guy, contributing as a runner and a receiver and a returner and all those guys. With the new offense and some of the new guys, do you feel like you can have a similar role this season?
Yes, sir. I think I can have a similar role, but also with Coach Kosh and some of the other guys coming in, it also expands some of the roles of some of the guys on the team. I think we have a lot of weapons on offense that at times didn't show through what we were doing last year offensively, but some of the things Coach Kosh is doing is getting the balls to our athletes in space, which is, I think, will be great in helping us move the ball. I mean, I think it will make us less predictable in some situations because we have 4 or 5 guys on the field who can touch the ball and make plays when it's in their hands. So I think it will be exciting in that sense.
We got Daryl back. Daryl, you had a question? You're on mute.
Yeah, I do. I appreciate it. Thank y'all for the opportunity. Darrell Owens, Legacy Maker Sports. I kind of wanted to ask everybody, you know, last year you guys had a really tough game against Virginia Tech, had an opportunity to kind of pull that off. But, you know, at the end, you know, obviously Tech was able to pull it away. Now you take on Virginia this year. Are you guys ready, you know, again this year to maybe give another run at Virginia and maybe pull off the upset this time around? Do you think that you guys are ready to make that leap this time around?
Yeah, I would say we are for sure. I mean, we never try to overhype a game, even it being at a conference FBS game. We go into it like we do every week with a 1-0 mentality. We'll compete all week and go into it with our game plan, and we'll just trust the process and what our coaches put in for that week, and go into it like every other week. So we can't just overhype it just because of who it is and where we're playing, but we'll go into it with the same mentality that we do within conference games.
Obviously, when you're playing a BCS school, those are hard games. You know, they've got a lot of depth. You know, I think if you get in some one-on-one situations, you know, you're pretty good, but it's just, you know, so much depth that they have where we don't have quite that depth. I think we have excellent players. I think Tristan can get people on the ground, no question about that, and play. And I think Aaron can do a tremendous job. But when you start to, you know, it gets to special teams, gets a lot of different scenarios. When you play those games, it makes it a lot tougher. So we know. I mean, they're going to be good. They're going to be well coached, an excellent football team, and we're going to have to play really well. We're going to have to prepare really well, you know, to give us any kind of chance there. Aaron, you can comment.
I mean, yeah, I mean, when we go into, I mean, these games are exciting because, I mean, it's an ACC school. I mean, it's a level that it's a nationally televised game, so we're all excited for that game. I mean, like Tristan said, I mean, we can't overhype it. You can't make it bigger than it is because then emotions can start getting a part of it and like you start making mistakes. I mean, I think we just have to go into it with the same mentality we have for every game and play our game, and then what happens that type of way. I mean, if we're in it at the end, I think we have a chance to win, which I do think we can play with them this year. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, when it comes down to making the playoffs and achieving our ultimate goal, that game is a game that is super early in the season. It's not gonna affect the rest of our season because we know what type of team we have, no matter what happens that game.
Awesome. Thank you, fellas. Good luck this season.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Tristan, you certainly had a lot of acclaim and All-America honors over the last couple of years, but the defense, Spiders defense, loses some veteran guys with Kobe Turner and Tyler Dressler next to you. How has your role changed going in this season?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's hard losing guys like Kobe and Tyler for sure, who played such a big part on our defense. But as for me stepping up and taking a bigger role, I would say I'm more of a guy that likes to lead and do things by example. I'm not really one to talk all that much. I want to be a guy that when I do say something, people are like, all right, here he's saying something like it's important. I should probably listen. That's how I want to be. But I think I have to pick up more of a vocal role, especially with Tyler and Kobe being gone, because they were in that position. They did like to talk a lot and get people going. So I think that's one thing I can do and pick up a little bit more. But I think as for the guys that were behind Tyler and Kobe and some of those other guys that left, there's not much of a drop off. They did a great job leading by example, coaching those guys and getting them prepared to step up into their role. So I don't see much of a drop off, and I think the guys that are going to fill their spots are going to do great.
Another question from John O'Connor. Go ahead, John.
Kristen, everybody's optimistic this time of year. In what is your optimism rooted about the Spiders? What do you like when you look at your team? Thank you.
So our defense, I mean, I think we take, I mean, I'm a defensive guy, obviously, so I'm always going to talk about the defense, but I think we take great pride in what we do on defense, swarming the ball, stopping the run. I think that's a big thing that we take pride in. I think Coach Wood does an amazing job at what he does, getting us all prepared, never going into a game unconfident about our assignment and responsibilities. So I'm definitely looking forward to see how we can continue what we've been doing and continue to grow. I mean, as for the offense, from what we've done against them so far, Coach Kosh has done an amazing job switching up their scheme and getting the guys the ball to make big plays like Aaron was mentioning. And I mean, when we go against guys like Aaron Dykes and Savon Smith and all those guys on a day-to-day basis, it's a iron sharpens iron mentality, and each day they get us better. So when we face guys that are top running backs in the league every day and people like Reese Udinsky, our quarterback, it sets us up to succeed on a week-to-week basis. So I think we'll be all right this season for sure.
Thank you.
Russ, before I let you go, the CAA celebrating 75 years as a conference. You've been around for quite a few of those. I just wanted to get your view on what's made this conference so special over the years.
Yeah, I have been around for a lot of those, no question about that. But great league, and I heard one of the coaches, I can't remember who it was, but from top to bottom, you don't line up in this league and just say there's a gimme. I don't think there's any gimmies in this league. It's a hard league. When I was in the Southern Conference, you could kind of look before the season starts, we can get those 3 or 4. In this league, you're not saying that. I mean, you got to be prepared. You got to play well every week. It's a tremendous league, and obviously 75 years is incredible, and it's pretty cool to be a part of it. But you're right, I've been a part of a lot of them. I think I was part of Yankee Conference at one time. I think I was part of Atlantic 10 one time, and now CAA.
All right, Russ, Aaron, Tristan, thanks so much for taking time to do this with us today. Good luck as practice gets underway. Look forward to watching you play during the season.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.